Joining us now is PJ Grant, the founder of goReno. Now, that's a startup out of the University of Toronto that connects homeowners looking to renovate and approved construction professionals in their area. Now, PJ says they're aiming to clean up the construction industry and help homeowners select the right people for the job. Welcome to What She Said.
Thank you for having me.
So, how did you come up with this idea? Did you have a bad experience? Did something happen?
So the founding story of goReno is unfortunately an experience that a lot of Canadian homeowners face. So my dad was looking to have some landscaping work done. Mm-hmm. And the process, one, to find someone to come in, and two, find someone trustworthy to come in, was just incredibly difficult. To the point where it's been 2 summers now and the work still hasn't been done.
Oh, welcome to my nightmare. I had 2 contractors, 1 per year, back out of doing the work. One because he decided he didn't want to travel into Toronto from Durham region, and the other because he decided a $40,000 job wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It seems like the trades are the only industry where you have people holding up money saying, take my money. Yeah. And no one for some reason wants to take it. And it's ridiculous, which is what we want to stop.
Well, you're talking about cleaning up the industry. Do you think that there's more scamming in that industry than others?
I don't think so, but I think fundamentally what runs this industry is trust. Mm-hmm. And you have a lot of homeowners distrusting their contractor because of all the horror stories that we hear. And you now have a lot of construction companies not trusting their homeowners because now a lot of homeowners don't want to pay because they're threatening to potentially write bad reviews. So what we are trying to do is pause and try and instill that trust in an industry where there's not enough trust.
How do you install trust?
So what we do is that our current version 1 is we will enter a community and amalgamate a network of what we feel are upstanding companies. So we run the insurance, the licensing, the WSIB, all the necessary certifications that they need in order to practice. If they pass those initial steps, we will then do further background and reference checks to make sure that they're companies that you actually want in your home.
Okay, so basically you're doing all the homework and providing some of the protection.
Yeah, we do the homework so that the homeowner doesn't have to.
Because I was going to say there are other companies out there that connect people. There's apps that you can download that connect you with people, whether they're handyman or full-on construction workers. So how does goReno differ from those ones?
So some of the popular companies right now in this space are HomeStars, House, and Trusted Pros. Mm-hmm. And I like to refer to those as almost online phone books for trades. So you'll go on and you'll say, okay, well, I would like a bathroom rental company in Toronto. How many are there? And then you'll get 30 pages worth of companies. Mm-hmm. So how do you choose based on those 30 pages? Is it the best reviews? Well, we know that some reviews aren't as accurate because we've had reports of companies paying for reviews. Is it the companies who are on the front page? Well, we know that oftentimes the companies who are at the front are the companies who can afford to pay to be at the front.
SEO, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So what we do is that when a property owner approaches us with a potential project, they always say to get 2 or 3 quotes per project.
Right.
So we will match companies based on their needs to come in and provide you with a free quote. If you'd like to see more, great, we will provide you with more. But if you're comfortable with one of those quotes, we will then be with you throughout the lifespan of the renovation to make sure that 1, you're always comfortable with the work that's being done, and 2, that you're satisfied and everything's going okay.
So essentially you are then the contractor.
Yeah.
We are not the contractor. We simply make recommendations based on what we feel.
Well, if you're going through every step of it, you are the umbrella then.
Yeah,
People go to you first, and you provide everything. You make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, we are definitely an overseeing eye to make sure that everything's going well during that process.
What about pricing?
So we don't get involved with pricing. We leave that currently between the homeowner and the contractor. But the platform that we're currently building is somewhere where you can pay for, hire, select a contractor, and ensure your renovation all in one place. So when that happens, homeowners will pay us the fee, the renovation fee in escrow, and then we will release those payments to the contractor when the work is done. So you don't have instances of contractors taking deposits and running.
I've heard lots of stories where you see a senior citizen, maybe an older woman on her own, and someone is charging her an arm and a leg for something that should cost a tenth, and they don't know, and she doesn't know.
Absorbent fees.
So do you think by going through somebody like you, that kind of a platform, that would discourage that kind of thing?
Absolutely, absolutely. We've actually had to remove a few contractors during the vetting process because we felt that their values didn't line up to what we were trying to do. Fundamentally, we are here to ensure that contractors get paid and to ensure that contractors get work, but to protect the homeowners. Because we don't feel like enough people are doing that in the space.
And you also believe, correctly, that women are the true key decision makers in the family, the gatekeepers to the home, if you will. But you found that the renovation industry is much more male-focused. So how are you trying to balance that out?
So the messaging for this is very subliminal, but unfortunately it's quite prevalent. If you take your typical renovation show, she will be the real estate agent. She will be the designer. But he is the construction guy. He is the reno guy. Mm-hmm. If you look at the three most prominent renovation personalities in Canada, Mike Holmes, Brian Baldmer, Scott McGilvery, all men. Even some of the commercials that we'll see on TV or hear on the radio, they'll have very masculine undertones that kind of excludes the female experience from renovations. And some of the negative effects we're seeing from this are, one, young girls aren't considering the trades because they don't see this as an inclusive environment. Two, some of the couples that we've dealt with, the wife takes more of a backseat to her husband because she's not as comfortable dealing with the renovation process. And three, some single women, unfortunately, have felt like it's almost scary embarking on a renovation by herself. And we know the data. We know that women make a great deal of the household buying decisions. So a business strategy that completely excludes 50% of the population is bad business.
Yes.
Absolutely. So we're coming into spaces like this to try and provide that educating work, one, because it's the right thing to do, and two is that it's a great business opportunity that we don't understand why no one else is tapping into.
So how are you going to change that for women? How are you going to make them feel more comfortable or make them feel more included?
So we've partnered with a few great real estate agents throughout the city, female real estate agents who do these real estate home mortgage workshops for women. So while they provide the real estate aspect, they'll have a female mortgage agent providing that aspect. And then we will provide some of the renovation aspects to provide tips on what to expect and what to consider when coming into a renovation.
Okay, so you did come in with some tips precisely about what to expect when trying to improve our most valuable investment, our home. So number one, check your insurance.
Check your insurance, which is something only 6% of people do, and is quite unfortunate because depending on the scale of the project, you might have some serious insurance implications that you should consider.
Do you need special insurance for a renovation?
Depending on your current homeowner policy, you might. So what goReno does is that we've partnered with a really great, innovative local insurance company to help facilitating homeowners who are interested in getting renovation insurance for their project.
Okay, be realistic about the outcome.
Yeah, so a lot of homeowners want to renovate in view of selling, so they'd like to do a project that increases the value of their home. And there are a lot of great renos that you could do to do this. Unfortunately, though, we'll see on TV, someone will do a $12,000 bathroom, but somehow that adds $20,000 worth of value to their home. And we know that in reality, this doesn't happen. Yeah. So it's really important to do your homework, do your research. And if you are renoing to sell, we've teamed up with some great real estate agents throughout the city who would love to provide homeowners with advice on doing this.
Have contingency fee.
So in a perfect world, everything is on budget all the time, no room for fluctuations, but we know that this doesn't always happen, especially when you're doing larger projects, moving walls, things like that. So most contractors will have this built into their existing quote, but if they don't, it's a really good idea to have 5 to 10% set aside just in case. You never know what might come up.
And get a contract is the fourth and probably the most important
Contracts, get everything in writing. Your typical renovation story, horror story starts with, well, they were a friend, they came referred, so we didn't get a contract.
So PJ, where can people go to learn more about goReno?
Our website, www.goreno.co.co, or you can email us directly at info@goreno.co.
So where are you currently? Where are you? What communities
So
are you?
Our service area is from Markham to about Burlington and as far west as Milton is our current service region.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today and telling us about goReno.
This is awesome. Thanks, guys.
Well, she said she's magical, mystical, a powerful wonder girl.